So there's been a ton of comments and questions about the fact that I run L111 at 20 to 1 in our race bikes and how you can get away with that. Now, I understand the skepticism, and this is what I'm going to say. I ran tons of different types of oils over the last 40 years, basically everything you can think of, okay? And on every one of those oils, I found to be true what people have posted about, well, I've run like this or I've run like that with this mixture and that mixture, and I can never get it to be, you know, if I ran it to 20 to 1, I didn't make any power. Okay, I'm 100% with you there, right? Then one day I was talking to Arlen at LED Racing. Him and I go back to the 80s, and he's like, you know, you should give L111 a try. And I was like, yeah, you know, I mean, I'm kind of stuck on 927 and GP7, depending on if I was going to run methanol or gas. And he's like, well, you should give it a try. And he's like, I'll have the distributor in the United States get a hold of you. So Andy Duvall called me, and we started talking, and he's like, yeah, I'll send you some samples of it, but this is what I want you to do. Mix it rich, okay? And I'm like, well, how rich? And he's like, well, 20 to 1. And I'm like, oh man, that's pretty crazy. But I mean, hey, if somebody's going to send me something and they say it's going to do something, I will test it to see if it does it. So he sent me the sample of it, and I had a motor that was all broken and everything. I knew what its numbers were on the dyno, and so I mixed up a gallon of this stuff at 20 to 1. Fired it up, and the first thing that I noticed, because the room is evacuated, is that the dyno room is evacuated, is that I didn't see the smoke coming out, even compared to what I was mixing at 40 to 1 with the other oils that I've used. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. So I'm like, you know, did I pour the right jug in, right? You're used to seeing something, right? And then when you don't see it, then you know, anybody that's paying attention is like, okay, what's going on? So I did a burn-off test on it just to make sure that it was right, because it was the end of one day that I mixed it and the beginning of another day when I started running it. And sure enough, there's oil in it, so I know that I had mixed it. Get the motor nice and hot, get it up to operating temperature. Made some pulls on it, and it made more horsepower, and not by just a little bit. And I'm like, okay, this is crazy. So now I've got this thing, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, maybe there's something else that's going on. Now my dyno is fully set up. It's got all the weather sensors on it and everything. So I get some pretty consistent numbers out of it. So I pulled that fuel out, put the fuel that I normally run into it, and it dropped. Not only that, though, the temperatures changed in the different parts of it. I'm not going to go into all the details about my dyno, because it's not like everybody else's, and you don't know what you don't know, and I'm not going to share that. But I will tell you that most people's dynos answer a question. Most people's dynos, this is a better way of saying it, most people's dynos give an answer to an unknown question, which means they'll say this much, but why this much, okay? My dyno has 17 sensors on it, and so it answers a ton of questions with actual data. So I know why something is doing something. So I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm like, okay, this is crazy. This doesn't make sense. So I called Andy, and Andy's like, you want to try pushing it up a little bit farther? And I was like, yeah. And then he suggested, well, he'd like to come out and do some dyno runs on a bunch of different oils. So Andy actually flew out here, and we spent 3 days making pass after pass after pass. In 3 days, we made just a little over 400 passes, okay? And I mean, we're working until early in the morning, until late at night, just making passes on the thing. And what we found out is that this stuff, all the way down to 16 to 1, continued to make more horsepower than I could make off of any other oil that I've ever tried, okay? So here's the thing. I tell you guys what my results are, okay? Do whatever you want, do whatever you're comfortable with, but if you run one of my motors, you're going to run this oil at the mixture that I say. That's how you get your warranty. That's right. We offer a warranty on our motors, okay? So if you're going to run something of mine, you're going to run whatever it is that I tell you you're going to run, because that is what I know works. But for everybody else, listen, do what you want to do, okay? That's up to you. But I would say maybe sometime just get a quart of this stuff and try it and see how it works for you. There's a lot more people out there than myself that have run this and have seen that it works the way I say it works. So that's what I got to say about that. Later.